Alrighty, so we got a tournament match here between Quickrick and ngober, and joining me is kHz.
Hello. So I don't really understand. I was hoping to see a bit of the kingdom selection thing, but I'm not sure where they did it. If I understand correctly, you get a mix of cards, and you veto some of them.
You know, I'm signed up for this tournament, and yet I'm also a little. I don't remember how the rules work. I think it's something to the effect of like you get a variety of cards, so you're gonna see at least some card fulfilling the like duration type, attack type, action, treasure, victory, etc. in every kingdom.
Yep.
And then I actually have no idea what's up with the landscapes, but something's up with the landscapes because there's 3 of them. It's not that there's one of all 4 because we don't have a project here. Yeah, DZ, if you know the rules, which I have to assume is the case, please do inform me because I'm actually at a loss.
No, I did actually read the rules. So
Perfect.
the bot generates a big. I don't know what's going on with the landscapes, but the bot generates a big kingdom that has like a rainbow, meaning it's got all the different types of cards in there.
Okay.
And then you both veto either 2 or 3 cards. I forget. And then you play the kingdom with the remaining cards.
So maybe one of them used their veto on the project. Wait, but if that's the case, then there'd be like 11 actions. I don't know. It's something variety-esque is the
I have no idea what's going on with the landscapes.
Okay. So let's look at the actual kingdom. I mean, you got trashing with priest and cemetery. You got plus buy with wine merchant. You got
you have a village.
actions,
You have
draw. Looks like a decent
not the
build.
most exciting kingdom, but you can certainly build here.
Yeah, it seems kind of straightforward to me. Wine merchant's not the best source of plus buy because it's kind of weak and you can't get a whole lot of plus buy because it's terminal and cost 5 to play, which is a big investment. But it is the obelisk, which makes it, I guess, nice to go for anyway because you're scoring 2 points per.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want it as the only plus buy. It's a kind of card that like has much greater impact if you have a couple of them. Although it's tricky because they're terminal. Because of its little drawback thing, it's like you only pay the drawback for one of them, even if you play 3. So why not get a couple? They're obelisks.
Yeah, the way I think about it is like your first wine merchant, if you want to play it every turn, is basically just like a $5 messenger or woodcutter.
It's a woodcutter.
Woodcutter. Okay, I never played base 1E, so I wasn't 100% sure I had the right card there. But
Yep.
function is like plus 2 coins plus 1 buy basically because you have to leave 2 coins unspent. But if you have 2 of them, you only have to leave 2 coins total unspent. And so then you can think of like 2 wine merchants as being plus 3 coins plus 1 buy each because you got 8 of which you can't spend 2. And then with 3 wine merchants, it's I don't know, some fraction that I don't want to do the math for, but like they get better over time and they approach being a full 4 coins each the more you have.
Yep.
What have they done? I actually have no idea. So we got a Haven Jester open. That seems reasonable to me. I'm not sure Jester is the best, but it seems fine. We got Priest Silver, also quite reasonable.
Yeah, and I saw Quickrick picked up a moat pretty early. He did a scouting party into moat on 4, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Are you just making up these facts, DZ? That sounds like a fake fact to me. Blessed Village used to be a woodcutter, and it was called Honest Merchant. In what sense is that even Blessed Village? It had like a different name and a totally different function. This seems like one of those George Washington's X scenarios. Like, we had Blessed Village, but it had a different name. We changed the name. And it had a different function. We changed the function. But it's still totally the same card. It works though, because like if someone else said that, I'd be like bullshit. But DZ does know.
DZ says it, you're like, well, it's probably right.
It must be true. Yeah. All right, so goodness me, I have no idea what's happening in this game.
Yeah.
Let me get caught up. I don't think I like the silver from ngober on turn 4. Like, silver makes sense if you're trying to hit 5, which, I mean, honestly isn't even the most important thing in this kingdom. It's not like there's 5s that are crucial to get. You want most of these 5s eventually. Probably not treasure trove, but, like, you'd be fine buying 4-cost cards here. Priest is good early. Herald and Village Green are fine.
Yeah, it seems like a big thing they're doing is scouting party to discard Village Greens.
That's kind of nifty.
It's pretty cute.
It feels like a contextual thing. I don't know whether it's generally worth it or not, because like the 2s here are not bad. Both Haven and Moat seem quite worth buying, so it's not like there's no cost to doing it. Only 3 landscapes, indeed. We were just discussing this. I'm not totally sure why there's only 3 landscapes. I assume one of them has banned the whatever project was supposed to have been in this kingdom.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of the example kingdoms now from the mix channel, and it has 4 sideways cards.
Okay. Wait, can you check the mix channel? You know, the one where they would have generated this, and see what the project should have been.
Yes, give me a second. I have to find it. Where is it?
Okay. So they can ban 2 cards and independently can ban 0 to 1 landscapes.
Okay. Where's the Mixed Kingdoms channel? It used to be in tournaments, I thought, but I don't see it there anymore.
I don't know. It's somewhere there, I think.
Maybe it got archived.
Okay, not too bad. Has beat you to it. One of them didn't like Guildhall. Man, Guildhall might actually really swing this kingdom a lot, because with Guildhall and Treasure Trove around, you might just, that might be enough to justify playing money, because that's a pretty powerful combination here. I'm still not sure. Like, Wild Hunt is a great engine payload and a fine draw. You got Obelisk for bonus points. I'm not sure the Guildhall T-Trove thing actually wins, but I'd think about it for sure.
It would definitely be a lot closer. Like, as the board stands right now, you're not playing money.
Yeah, definitely not.
But yeah, I mean, Guildhall Treasure Trove it's pretty good. It's not like Spice's Guildhall, but it's pretty good.
Or Beggar Guildhall. That's a strong one.
Oh yeah, that's always a fun one. You get to open double Beggar.
All right. So where do we stand on cards?
So this should be a ghost here.
It does appear that they're going to get a ghost, which is nice. I'll be the first one to do so. And plus buy time?
Yeah, Wine Merchant sounds good to me. I guess you scout first. You don't have anything to flip though.
Yeah, the only Wine Merchant acquired previous to that was by their opponent. So it does seem high time for Quickrick to get their own plus buy.
Yep. Most definitely. Looks like a little bit of a sad turn for ngober here.
Indeed.
Is he going to play the Village Green in his duration and just give up the turn? Yep, appears so. Like it.
And then, what do you buy here? Village Green or Herald, I would think.
Herald seems reasonable. It's a good card. And you're starting to get pretty action dense.
Yeah, I don't think you're playing with a whole lot of treasures here. You know, Wine Merchant, you have to get a bunch of Wine Merchants anyway for the plus buy, and that'll give you
I kind of want a treasure trove for priest food.
I don't think...
Like, I want to be doing double priest things, and I want copper to feed that.
To answer a complaint, I believe they generate more cards than are necessary. So they generate 14 kingdom cards.
Yep.
and then if you must ban 2 each. The
Yep.
rules of this tournament are starting to become clear over time. We're getting closer.
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
And then you can ban up to 1 landscape apiece. And so it seems like one of these players has opted to exercise that right, and the other one has not.
Yeah. So here I'm guessing you take like Wine Merchant and then maybe another Herald?
Wine Merchant and Herald. That sounds fine to me.
Could be another Village Green too.
I would not top deck the Wine Merchant, even though that would be an option there.
Yeah.
Actually, you could consider it. It'll get hit by Ghost. Is that better than random chance of hitting Herald instead? Actually, I guess I would consider top decking the Wine Merchant. Why did they buy a scouting party?
I think they were trying to set up their top deck a little bit, and they didn't realize that was going to happen.
Or maybe, I guess... So, like, I can see the logic of, like, oh, I've got a priest down there. And if they're aware of that, then maybe they don't want to play the ghost. But, like, if you're real afraid of ghosting a priest, which honestly isn't the end of the world, like, this hand, for example, would be fine. I would think that if that's your concern, then the Herald top deck is a much better solution. Because all they did there was give themselves a 50-50 shot of not hitting the priest. Whereas, like, you know, like Wine Merchant Herald or Wild Hunt Herald or something like that would guarantee that you I'm losing my words. It would guarantee that your ghost reveals the right card. Sorry, it's been a long day.
Yeah, no worries. Kaplan asks why Sizzle Draw has been bought. I don't know.
Good question.
Because they're focusing on trashing more right now, I guess. We saw Grover picked up a Wild Hunt so far. I mean, Quickrick is able to draw their whole deck last turn. So it's not like they don't have any form of deck control, but definitely seems like a good time to add in some draw. Like, this hand is looking a little sad. There we go. Found the Herald.
So returning to an earlier point, I could see the priest megaturn idea where you like play a bunch of priests.
I don't think it has to be a megaturn, but like I just want like 2 priests probably.
So here are the downsides, I guess. Is Herald makes your deck a little bit unwieldy. You know, Herald's big problem is it plays the cards in whatever order
regardless,
it feels like.
Yeah.
And whether you wanted to play that card or not, it gets played. And so you got this problem of like you might reveal you're a priest and then not have the relevant thing you wanted to trash yet in hand. That sort of scenario, which makes it a little bit shaky. And I don't think, you know, big amounts of money are the concern. You know, the priest combo stuff generates tons of money, but at the cost of taking a lot of effort to get going. And you already got like a decent amount of money from Wine Merchant.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see it not being needed here. As James points out, you can camel the card if you don't actually want to play it from Herald.
And then you got a gold in your exile.
That's on your deck. That's where I like my golds in exile.
I mean, I guess the gold could end up being priest food.
Yeah, it's just an idea. Your logic makes sense, though. I guess like you can just use Wine Merchants and maybe a Jester too as payload, and that lets you build more straightforwardly with Heralds. So more trashing, both sort of building, not exactly fast. They're both just building for a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely very little incentive to green early here. Wild Hunt is a potentially very large stack of points, and I would not be provincing anytime soon.
Yeah, it's just Heralds and Village Greens look so good.
Yeah, like there's plenty of engine components that you can be buying. Wild Wine Merchants are a stack of points. Wild Hunt is a stack a lot of points. Uh, I would definitely just keep building until becomes necessary to green because piles are too low.
Mm.
16 money. Huh. What are you buying with that?
Oh,
Something like Wild Hunt, top deck it with Herald, and then like a moat and another Herald or something like that.
good. You can also grab another village green just because you are a little action short right now.
Yeah, Village Green also totally reasonable. Like Wild Hunt, Herald, Village Green, Moat, or maybe
Mm.
Haven instead of Moat. It is really rare for me to actively want to use the Herald overpay effect.
I know. At first, when you were like, "Oh, you could top deck," and I'm like looking for Traveling Fair Tracker or something. I'm like, "How do you?" Oh, right, Harold has that ability I never used.
Yeah, but this ghost thing is actually like a case where it seems weirdly useful to get to choose which card your ghost hits.
Yeah.
It is not frequent that I'm like, yes, the Herald overpay. That is an important thing to do once, let alone multiple times in a kingdom.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it in the Discord, and we were saying basically if it didn't have that ability, it'd be the exact same card strength wise. Like,
Yeah,
it'd be
I mean, like
so
I agree
marginally
with
weaker.
that. This kingdom certainly seems like the rare exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have. Huh. I definitely would have played that Jester before the second Village Green. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, obviously, Quickrick had a moat in their hand, but, like, maybe you reveal a
You
Wine
get
Merchant.
something, yeah.
And then you get a Wine
Totally.
Merchant. And then you could play the second Village Green normally and draw that and play it on the same turn.
Yeah. Seems like a play order mistake, but also Grober here seems like they're having some money problems. I mean, their wine merchants were all on the mat, which is why, but uh, only generated $4 that turn. Oh yeah. Now we're stacking merchants.
And getting places. So my impression here is that Quickrick is in the lead.
He definitely seems to be ahead. Not by an insurmountable amount, but he's generating more money, he's cleaner, he's got more heralds. I like his position.
Yeah, got more Wine Merchants. Killing off one of the priests now. Seems fine.
Okay,
That's
doing
a
some
lot
cam
of
line.
golds. I question that decision.
Is he going to take them out of exile this turn?
Maybe.
I don't think I want. Okay,
but,
he's doing it. I don't think I want the golds yet. But
well, if that's the case, I'm definitely clicking on Wild Hunt. Probably 2 Wild Hunts here. Like 2 Wild Hunts in a Village Green.
yeah,
because like this past turn was bolstered by the ghost having been in play already. You're starting your deck with some extra draw, whereas now you both don't have that ghost, and you also now have a ghost that's in your deck to draw on top of the 4 golds you just added, and so your deck's a lot thicker. Why? Okay. Oh, DZ has a point. I think the thing I said a second ago spends the money exactly, and obviously you'd want to save 2 to get the Wine Merchants back. So like 2 Wild Hunts and a Haven maybe is better. This seems risky from Quickrick. I don't know that they're gonna draw their deck successfully here. So I think a problem with Way of the Camel is like people have a tendency to use it as like as much as they can. Like, I have an action I have like no other need for. I might as well click the camel for it. But then, the way the exile mat works is you can always choose not to unexile stuff, but if you choose to unexile, you're getting every card of that name off the mat. You can't just be like, I'll take 2 of my golds now and leave the other ones there.
Yep.
And so at some point you end up with like too many golds in your exile mat, and then you're like, I can't stuff 8 golds in my deck right now. It's just gonna fall apart if I do that. And 4 isn't necessarily like overkill, but it's like it's the number where I'd be worried about drawing at the very least. If I'm buying 4 golds, I'm adding a bunch of draw. And I don't know. Quickrick has a lot more faith in his deck than I do. It might draw, but it very well might not.
I mean, just looking at that opening hand, right? 3 of them are gold now. And they do have a Village Green down, so it's effectively an extra card.
Yeah. I guess on the there is some upside to seeing a bunch of the golds in your starting hand, which is it means your Heralds are not likely to hit them.
Yep.
Because that's another thing that I guess is an assumption that you might take for granted. It's like, you drew a lot last turn, but that's because every one of your Heralds hits. And if you added a bunch of golds to your deck, then your Heralds start to become less likely to hit reliably.
Absolutely. Okay.
Gaining on
Plays that.
Actually, so on the one hand, Gaining Wire Merchant is like a really nice card to get off of Jester. On the other hand, they did just clear a stop card off the top of Quickrick's deck, which might help this shaky draw situation. I don't want my Wire Merchants to be on top. They really like this
scouting party
thing. Like it's kind of nifty, but I feel like they might be going like a little bit too out of their way to do the thing.
Yeah, it's probably a little excessive, but it's really cute. I like it. I'd be doing it too.
What are the other ways
especially
can be activated?
Things like this where you end up having like $4 left and you need to spend 2 of it on wine merchants, so it's like you have a perfect little thing to do here.
Jester Village Green is pretty funny. You can activate your Village Green from the opponent's Jester.
That's great.
They still get the card. I think that's the only way to activate it. Oh, and Haunted Mirror. You could discard your Village Green to activate the Haunted Mirror effect.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm trying to think of a way the Ghost discard could ever hit Village Green, and I can't come up with one.
I was thinking of it too. I don't think you can.
That discard choice makes sense.
Yeah, scouting party to set up Ghost is certainly nice.
Yeah, Herald's not a bad card to hit with a Ghost, and they guaranteed their moats on top in case their opponent plays that Jester. Yeah, the one Wild Hunt thing is confusing to me as well. I gotta agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of ways to score here, but certainly Wild Hunt stack gets a lot of points.
Indeed. Play the Jester now. Play the Jester now.
Play it. Don't know. Wait. What if you... I mean, he doesn't know he has a moat, so...
Yeah, like... Oh, actually, maybe they do. Is the scouting party thing public info? I don't think it is.
No, it's look at, not reveal.
Yeah, if it says look at, that means you yourself get to look at the cards, not your opponent. If it said reveal, like Pursue says reveal, the newer scouting party equivalent, and then everyone gets to see them. So, like, ngober didn't know in advance that Jester was going to get blocked with moat. This is a lot of money. Um. So what do you get?
Probably another wine merchant.
Yeah.
Probably another herald.
A little short on buys, and again, you can choose what to top deck here. I would think that Wild Hunt is a natural thing to top deck.
Sure.
Province. Are they worried about piles?
I mean,
they could
piles are starting to matter.
They could be worried about piles here. That province might be reasonable. I mean, I guess if you're buying two Wild Hunts, if you're buying two Wine Merchants, you kind of have to, because I believe the opponent. Wait, this isn't safe, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Quickrick had 5 Wine Merchants, right?
Yeah, I think he could pile.
I think that Village Green is gonna cost you the game. I don't think they were paying much attention there. So I believe, given how intently I've been paying attention to the specifics of this game, that Quickrick has 5 Wine Merchants, in which case they have 6 buys and can just do 5 Heralds and Village Greens and then like an estate.
Yep. So they have enough actions.
It looks like I'm correct about that. So they need 22 money here, which they have.
Game.
Yeah, that was just ngober not paying attention. That was a silly set of buys. Like, on the one hand, the province thing looked like they were being cautious. They're like, oh, my opponent's got a lot of buys. Let me put some points on the board to make sure they can't pile out on me. And then they're like, JK, let me lower the piles anyway.
Ngober actually left his Wine Merchants on the mat, too.
Oh, yeah. So that was an exceedingly silly set of buys in that final turn.
Yeah. Okay, so game 1 to Quickrick. I will be right back.
The required card list is pleasantly colorful, and I assume that will be the case for most of the kingdoms in this tournament. That's true. I assume there was a knight card and it got banned by one of the players. I forget exactly what all the categories are. Let me guess. So we got like heralds. Actually, what are they? So
Look in the required cards thing. You really can see the little rainbow of it. Like, there's so many different colors of stuff.
I think it's something like victory, duration, village, draw, treasure, attack, reaction, whatever the brown one's called. I want to right-click it, but right-clicking on the required cards list doesn't show me. What's the word for that? The tavern mat cards? Reserve cards.
Yeah.
Reserve cards. Night cards. We're not seeing the night card here, but I'm sure that's one of the categories. Is gathering a category that's included?
I don't think it'd be included. There just aren't that many gathering cards.
I mean, like, I can't really comment definitively on what the rules for this tournament are. But yeah, it would be weird if gathering was one of the required categories, because there's, 3 total cards?
Wild Hunt,
gathering?
Farmer's Market,
and
Temple.
And then, like, the Defiled Shrine, I think, interacts with that, but obviously it's not like a card.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've spilled sugar everywhere. I had the little
Go clean that up.
My little sugar container from making coffee earlier. And I was just fiddling with it absentmindedly, and it is gone all over. I'm gonna have to clean that up in a bit. At least it's not liquid or anything, so I think it's okay if I don't imminently take care of this.
Yeah.
But
if you are in the tournament, I believe, so you can actually look at the Mixed Kingdoms channel. I'm not in this, so I don't have access.
It's
apparently
not visible to you. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like one of the first tournaments I haven't entered in a while, but I decided to take a little break from competing. Got a little burnt out entering every tournament.
I did not enter the last one. I kind of regretted it. All right, we got a new kingdom.
Let's see.
So let
Caravan,
me see if
first
I can
village.
actually see this channel. Let me find it.
Oh boy, we got donate and mouse here, and capitalism. This could be a really crazy board.
I'll go back and look in a second.
Gear mouse, that's a good mouse.
Oh goodness.
Capitalism and donate.
So we've got.
Oh yeah, this is like DZ's most hated kingdom. They don't like mouse or donate.
Yeah. So we got actually like every one of these kingdoms pretty much is gonna have like draw and action and buy and whatnot. I mean, I guess one of the players could just like ban the draw and the action cards if they wanted to. What are you doing here? This kingdom's kind of.
You can open double. Kind of open whatever, because double gear is a pretty good open, and you can do something like Caravan Slay, Dungeon Druid. Like they're all gears, so you kind of get to pick what you want.
Yeah, so like Treasure Trove and Donate would sound really nice as far as money goes, except Colony's around, and I kind of want to try to build up to Platinum.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could get a Treasure Trove and Donate anyway, and just like use the gold as a Kickstarter. But I'm wondering to what extent you still you can still build a bit here. Wouldn't mind taking some caravans, like a Druid or a Trade Route or something from plus buy. Druid can gain you caravans with the Earth's Gift. That could be a thing to do.
You play a trade route as gear in the buy phase with capitalism. That's awesome.
That could be can you build an engine out of that? So like you just buy a bunch of trade routes, and then if you play them in the buy phase, you don't have to spend actions. So there's like a bunch of little labs that you set aside for the following turn. So like they're little dens of sin of sorts. That actually sounds pretty nifty. Yeah, I'm liking that idea.
It's pretty cool.
I feel like that's the sort of thing that you need to play twice to get right, because I don't have good intuitions for how that's gonna work out. But wow, trade route might be the key card in this kingdom. That's not something you see every day.
So Rick donates down to 6 money, going for the silver donate line.
Why 6? Maybe they want to buy Slay here?
That would make sense. Or Druid if you want plus buy, and you just play it as gear until you need the plus buy.
Druid as well. You could just start.
Or Earth's Gift for stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking 6 seems strange if you were going straight into that treasure trove line that we were discussing, as opposed to just 5. But if
standard donate money thing would keep 6, right?
Well, I don't think you're doing the standard thing where you do donate, buy 2 golds, donate again, or whatever the donate pure big money strategy is. I don't think I've ever seen a kingdom where that's even the correct strategy.
Well, a lot of the time it's usually not, but there are definitely times where silver donate, buy 1 gold, then buy something, and then you diverge is a thing.
I was just thinking, if it's treasure trove, you could donate down to 5, pay off the debt, buy the treasure trove, and then you're guaranteed to see it the next turn. I don't dislike this other line. It is unfortunate that Quickrick bottom decks the silver, though. You're really hoping to bottom deck a copper, which is 2/3 likely. Because the difference between being able to buy a 3 and a 4. And Caravan seems like a real nice card. That being said, the 3s aren't bad. Dungeon's good. Trade route is apparently really good in this kingdom. Although it might be too early to get trade route because you don't have capitalism yet.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about this trade route thing, trying to figure out if this actually really works. I think it does.
Yeah, it seems pretty good to me. Now, the thing I think you'd really want is to just have like excess stuff because a lot of your stuff's gonna getting set aside with the trade routes, and so that deck I think might make good use of Treasure Trove because Treasure Trove kind of pumps your deck with a bunch of cards, and then a lot of that gets set aside each turn with all your trade routes. Okay, so Quickrick gets a Treasure Trove now.
Ngober hasn't donated yet, right? No. They have not.
Wait. Oh goodness. Classic Syndrome. I'm paying attention to like the first player because that's the POV you're taking. I hadn't been thinking what Ngober was doing at all, and I'm very confused by their opening choice.
Presumably, this is donate here. Yeah.
Dungeon and Caravan. Yeah, I don't know. These turn 1, turn 2 buys seem really bad. So like the important thing is like with donate, you almost always buy it somewhere between turn 1 and turn 4. I'd say it's really rare for it to be after turn 4 at the latest. And then you're gonna have a really thin deck. And so like things you don't need to add early with donate are things that trash cards because you're gonna trash all your cards basically immediately. Or things that draw you extra cards because your deck's going to be like 4 cards and you're not going to benefit from that. And usually the things that you want to add are the things that are like pumping your deck with payload as quickly as possible. So like Treasure Trove is better than usual because it builds you back up and adds a bunch of gold real fast. Or Gainers like Workshop are really good to donate. And I don't like the dungeon helps you sift through junk cards, which you shouldn't have once you donate. The Caravan helps you draw, which you don't need to do if you donate. Those sorts of things. I like the Treasure Trove line we're discussing. I like the Druid buy as well from Quickrick because Druid in this kingdom is a gainer akin to Workshop with Earth's Gift.
Yep. Because of gear, Druid seems like extra good. It gives you plus buy, it can gain stuff, or it's just a gear in the worst case.
Yeah. Yeah, turn 4 is on the rare side.
If we looked at like a little curve, it's probably centered around like 2 or 3. There's some fall off for 4 and some fall off for 1, but those still get bought a decent amount. And then after that, you're probably making a mistake.
Yeah, I agree. 2 and 3 I would expect to be the most common. I think turn 1 donate down to 5 coppers and then buy a 5 is not an uncommon line to see. But I put my money on 2 and 3 being the most common for sure.
Yep. So Quickrick does elect to buy a platinum.
Which signals, I think, a very money-ish thing. I'm not even sure that platinum is better than just having a Treasure Trove in your deck and a bunch of golds if I'm playing money. Because like every platinum you're gaining takes a buy, whereas like one Treasure Trove gives you a bunch of golds and then you can donate away all the coppers again with the second donate later on.
Yeah. You can even donate away the Treasure Trove if you have enough gold and you don't want to eat more yellow cards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially because the Treasure Trove itself is a silver, which normally is good for money. But if you're trying to play money and buy colonies, the silver is not necessarily even a positive card to have in your deck.
Yep. So it looks like Quickrick is going to play this Druid as gear or Earth's Gift. They're going, gear. Okay, so maybe tuck a plat here and buy another plat.
What is Quickrick going to do?
Oh, they're leaving 11 money, so it looks like they're greening.
Does this deck support sustainably buying colony already? Maybe?
No. I don't think so. I mean, they'll be able to hit colony for another turn or two, but it's going to stall really hard.
This also means the druid gets set aside, so your plus buy and your gains are getting set aside as well.
Yep.
I feel like this is too early to be buying colony.
I agree.
But yeah, I agree. Their hand says I'm buying colony because they left exactly 11. Okay, they got cold feet about it. Why did ngober keep so much stuff after donating? Good question. Let me look at their donate because I don't even know. They kept 4 coppers.
They had more stuff too. Like, it wasn't like they needed to keep it to pay off debt. They already had a treasure trove, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess if they donated all their stuff, then, like, I mean, their dungeon and their caravan are doing nothing. But yeah, the problem I think is ngober is just kind of dead in the water after that opening.
Yeah, and that's part of donate boards, right? The effect is so big that it magnifies small differences in the opening to like insurmountable leads.
Yeah.
What are they undoing? Okay, they want to play that as gear.
I don't think it really made any difference what Quickrick set aside now that I think about it. Because, like, with 2 cards set aside, I'm pretty sure they were guaranteed to hit 11 in the following hand either way. And they're guaranteed to only have +1 buy because their druid is
Druid is tucked, yeah.
So, like, it probably didn't matter whether you set aside those cards or the other cards or whatever.
So do you play treasure trove here?
Wait, did ngober just path up in platinum?
Says yes, he set stuff aside and bought a gold. What?
I wasn't looking at their hand at the time. Did they have enough money for platinum?
They set aside. No, they set aside druid and a copper, so they had 8 money.
But they didn't play their silver, right?
Doesn't say. I'm looking at the log.
They have a silver. They had a silver in their hand, and they didn't play it. So I do believe they had 9 money. Yeah, and they.
That's strange. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I have no idea. Why wouldn't they either set it aside or you? Dude, I got nothing.
Now, I'm not normally one to criticize a player for buying gold, but if you could buy platinum, and all you really wanted was a nice high-value treasure in your deck anyway, I would think that the platinum is almost strictly better for your deck than the gold is.
So Quickrick here is only hitting 10.
Yeah, I don't like this the path Quickrick has taken. I think they greened a little too early and are building a little bit less than they could. But I think that they still have a pretty much insurmountable lead at this point.
I mean, it's getting a little closer. We'll see how these next couple draws play out. I mean, ngober has to hit colony here if they want to put any pressure on.
I mean, just comparing the contents of Quickrick's deck to ngober's, it seems pretty bad.
I think we trash treasure trove there. Oh, interesting. They don't. They only trash 4 coppers. Huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they want the silver at the very least. Like, the treasure trove at least gets you more golds, but I don't think I would want the silver in my deck anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking about killing the silver and the trove, but I guess there's value to keep it. It won't be around for too much longer, so you're not going to build up too many coppers with it.
I don't know if ngober can hit colony consistently. So I think as Quickrick, you take the colony here and then start province dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and your deck's gonna last a lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, Gober has a serious consistency issue. Their deck is just much worse than Quickrick's.
So Quickrick opts not to play the Druid. Obviously, an option there was just to play the Druid as a gear and set 2 cards aside, which makes your next hand better. Um, I'm not sure if that's better or not, but I can see the plausible reason why they wouldn't, which is if you do the gear thing where you play the Druid and draw, you trigger a shuffle, and then your Druid, which is your only buy/gainer, is now out of that shuffle, which puts you in a bad spot if you need to do colony plus estate or something to break a tie.
Yep. Yeah, you want that druid to be around, because right now it's your only plus buy, and I don't think you have enough time to pick up a trader out. Okay, see the start of province dancing.
So why did they keep the treasure trove around if their plan is not to play it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I expect Quick
I
Rick
wouldn't
to
play
win
this
this in the
gear
long run.
there. I think you need the plus buy. You're just buying a province here. You're not going to win province dancing one by one.
I think as in Gober, it would make sense to buy this colony. Like obviously you can
Yeah.
see Quick Rick's hand, and as a matter of fact, buying colony here is losing. But you have to take the gamble that maybe your opponent doesn't have 11 in their hand and you can hit 11 again and colony one more time, because the
I mean,
odds of that are just going to decline as the game goes on. Once you both fill your decks with provinces, your opponent's deck has more longevity to it and is not going to crap out quite so fast. And then when you want to make that gamble later on, it's a worse prospect for you.
yeah, you got to play to your outs, and that's kind of the only one you have as a Gober in this position.
They really do not want to play this treasure trove that they also didn't trash.
Yeah, I would have trashed it.
I mean, I don't mind keeping it around either. I would just think that your choice to trash it should align closely with your choice of whether you want to play it. And those two things do not seem to be matching up here. So now here is an example of where I think that gamble looks worse for ngober already. Is if you take colony here, you just saw your opponent play gear, so you know they're about to be playing with a 7-card hand, where the likelihood that they fail to hit 11 is much lower.
Yeah.
The previous turn, I mean, the first thing I did was check whether Quick Rick had a gear down, because that's the sort of thing that determines whether or not you want to take that risk and buy a colony instead of province. So now you just buy Duchy.
Gotta keep dancing. Either that or harem. No, you gotta buy Duchy because you want that extra point.
Yeah, the extra point makes a big difference here. If Quick Rick buys Harem, they're both at 50. And
Yeah.
then if ngober buys Province and you buy Province, you're tied at 56 each, which is a loss for Quick Rick since they're player 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Quick Rick is definitely underbuilt. Seeing these openings, this game should be, I think, much more decisively in Quick's favor. Yeah, playing the treasure troves also helps alleviate some of that problem.
So we're running down duchies now.
So Quickrick can double duchy here if they want. They could also just take the colony with the knowledge that their opponent's deck is really bad at hitting 11 at this point. I think I like the colony plan as well.
Yeah, it seems reasonable. It's very unlikely that ngober is hitting 11, especially with nothing incoming like a gear.
You can also, I mean, with either of those lines, no, not with either of those lines, with the double duchy line. With the double duchy line, you could also get a nice little 2 cost to go along with it, like take a second druid, which is functionally like a second gear for most purposes. Well, you can't do gear colony. Unless my math is off.
No, you don't have enough.
Oh, are you saying play the druid as gear and then just buy colony? I interpret that as like buy gear and a colony.
Oh, this is a little scary. And now he still hits province, so he's safe.
Yes, and now you just buy province.
Yeah.
And now this is a win.
That's game. Yep. All right, Quickrick goes up 2-0. I believe these are 4-game sets.
James with the radio communication.
Over and out.
I didn't think about it between game 1 and game 2, but I suppose there's going to be an abnormal amount of wait time between each of these games, because they first have to generate a new list of cards, and then manually
veto
strike off the cards,
and then yeah, exactly
to the thingamajig. So we got some time on our hands, probably like a minute, give or take.
So this seems like a pretty interesting format. The rainbow idea is very cool, and it also seems to be sort of like a Whelp tournament in that, or it's got a whole bunch of sideways cards.
Yeah. One of these players really does not like knight cards. I'm pretty confident knight is one of the categories. We haven't seen one of those yet. That one keeps getting stricken. And there was some landmark that was banned. Let me go see if I can find this channel.
I'm not a big Mountain Pass fan personally. I like it when it's in colony games, and then like buying that province can be very strategic because you can often don't touch provinces until a lot deeper in. But I'm just in normal games. I'm not a huge fan of Mountain Pass. It just seems kind of clunky. Yeah, exactly. Do what Kaplan said. That's how you bid.
So the landmark ban, I guess, is more interesting to me because like Mountain Pass to me is just kind of like a nothing thing. It marginally tilts you in the direction of building a little bit more because it puts a little bit more points in the kingdom. but otherwise is like kind of insignificant. I think like it's just like a thing that happens and doesn't affect your strategy too much. I could see if it was like a you must ban one thing, then Mountain Pass would be an easy thing on the chopping block. But given that the landscape ban portion of this is optional, you don't have to ban a landscape if you don't want to. I do find it interesting that one of these players was like, "Yeah, Mountain Pass, that is worse than nothing."
So you think Mountain Pass pushes you to build more?
Yeah, for sure.
Because what I always thought is that Mountain Pass gives an advantage to whoever grabs the first province, because obviously taking the debt means that you get a bunch of points without a dead card in your deck.
Wait, so why does that advantage the person with the first province?
Because you want to get points without having to put a dead card in your deck.
But you put the province in your deck.
Yeah, but you're effectively getting like 2 provinces worth of points.
But what if they bid more?
Well, hopefully you then put them in enough debt that you get the advantage of time. I don't know. Like, maybe it doesn't make sense.
I'm unclear on why you being the one to buy the province gives you like an advantage in the bid. Like obviously you bid second, but I don't think that actually really affects your likelihood of winning the Mountain Pass bid if you bid strategically.
Yeah, I guess I don't see how it incentivizes you to build more, because
it's just
you
there's more
can't.
points to go around, and that's about the size of it. Is like imagine a kingdom with like 2 provinces, right? You wouldn't build very much. You just like buy provinces as soon as you hit 8. Imagine a kingdom with like 100 provinces, you'd want to build real big. And so kind of by that logic, you know, the more points around, the more you can justify building, because you'll score more long term, and the game will have a long term. And so Mountain Pass just tilts you a little bit in the direction of building more, just because it's 8 more points to go around than otherwise would have existed.
I gotta think about this one, but let's look at this board. So they banned Peasant, Junk Dealer, Royal Seal, Wild Hunt, and Donate. We can get another Donate game.
Peasant's so fun.
I'm also a huge fan of Travelers, but
I'm less a fan
they
of
said
Page.
no.
Page is hit or miss. Page is nice sometimes and bad sometimes. Peasant is
I like Page. I think Page games are fun. I just don't like Warrior, trashing Warrior. Other than that, I really don't have a problem with Page. I think it gets hated on a little bit too much.
Well, we finally got a Knight card, and a very nice one at that. I'm a big fan of Exorcist. Strong card.
Yeah, Sen of Din. Yeah, we also have Den.
Oh, 2 Knight cards. Oh, my, they're making up for lost time.
And yeah, I'm not sure I want to kill my estates with an Exo here. I kind of want to play Shepherdy.
That's a good point. I hadn't actually looked at the rest of the kingdom. I just saw Exo and television.
You saw Knight cards and you were just in love.
I get Exorcist a lot, like over 90% of games in which it exists. I buy it.
I think it's a great card. I definitely buy it very frequently, but in a kingdom like this where your estates are like pretty good, I don't know if I want to kill my estates.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable point, that you'd rather just play with Shepherd and not kill the estates. Dungeon and Den of Sin both help Shepherd a ton.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And or let you select your starting hand, make it very easy to line up your Shepherd with your estates. And Shepherd's one of those cards where like you either kick off early and then the rest of your turn runs real smoothly, or you don't at all. Because like if the first Shepherd draws you like 8 cards because you discarded 4 estates, then the next Shepherd's probably gonna line up and then you're gonna have a full turn.
Yeah, and like Poker just pointed out, Captain is amazing here because it's a duration Shepherd.
That is true. You don't even have to have your Shepherd on top.
Yep. Obviously, if for some reason you can't Shep, you can just play it as Marauder, which isn't the strongest effect, but is nice as a fallback. You know.
Wait a second. Who banned Shepherd? I don't like that. Sorry, not Shepherd. Peasant. There's like the only other plus buy in this kingdom is Ruined Market.
Well, you have Falconer and Rogue for gains, but yes.
Yeah. And I mean, not only is like Peasant itself plus buy, but also you have like Teacher, which can put plus buy on a thing. Yeah, whoever banned Peasant made this kingdom a lot less fun. What else got stricken? Junk Dealer. Okay, I don't have any problem with that. Royal Seal, Wild Hunt. donate.
Wild Hunt would be so good on this board with Shep. That looks like a lot of fun.
Who got the Wild Hunt last time? That was Quickrick, I believe, right?
I'm not sure.
So my hypothesis is ngober has banned Wild Hunt and Donate because those are both things that Quickrick won with in previous games. I don't know who banned Peasant, but I'm upset with that person. Oh wait, I can check this, I think, because I am in this tournament, so I have access to the super secret channel. ngober, you didn't. They banned Peasant, that dog. But counterintuitively, Quickrick has banned Wild Hunt and Donate, despite both of those being in the previous kingdoms, which they won.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe they want some variety.
This tournament provides plenty of variety, that's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to play multiple Donate Kingdoms in a 4-game match. Yeah, I agree, Kaplan. I think Donate can often make games a little too fast and a little too sharp. Because it's more fun to have to build around garbage and get deck control slowly than just, I trash everything bad in my deck and now I have 3 cards. Poker, if I was doing Donate stuff, I'd probably open... Peasant's not here. Donate with Peasant's a lot of fun. Travelers love Donate.
Yeah, I think something like Peasant Donate sounds likely to be reasonable. But I have to see the exact kingdom, because, actually, no, if you put in Donate, you wouldn't actually have to remove anything, because that's just a landmark. Landscape, I mean. Yeah, Yeah, probably Peasant Donate is the first thing that comes to my mind. What do you mean by toxic? Toxic isn't like
unfun. I think he means like very centralizing.
I guess it's a very player one advantage thing, because you're going to do very deterministic things, and player one is the first. Yeah. I see what you're getting at.
Could have bought Ruin Market. Bought a gold? No. Could have bought a captain.
Buying gold over captain does seem rather bad. Captain is a very good card. Gold is very much not. I wonder if Piazza's ever worth getting here, maybe? I don't see any good way to set it up or anything.
I don't know. Piazza's very good. I just don't know if I want to spend a buy on it. So I only have 1 buy right now, and it's pretty precious. On the other hand, if you get a Ruined Market, play Captain as Ruined Market.
I was trying to think of something with like playing a captain as Way of the Seal to like top deck a card mid start of turn, and then do Piazza, but you could play captain as Marauder, but you'd gain a non-action card.
Yeah.
And then you can't play it as Rogue or Falconer, so those can't be played at the start. Wait. So you play one captain that was already in play from the last turn as Way of the Seal. So you've now got the Seal top deck effect. Then you play the other one as Timo K has really stolen my thunder. Thanks for that. I was getting there. You play the other captain as a Marauder and gain. Well, you don't gain, but your opponent gains a Ruin, which is 2 types, and that can activate a Falconer that's in your hand, which can then gain you a Marauder,
something which gets top decked.
Whatever, and then you top deck that using the Way of the Seal effect.
All right. We solved it.
That is taking a card out of your hand to put it on top of your deck just to redraw it. So it doesn't even give you any draw. But it is at least a free action, because you don't have to spend an action playing that card. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that there's any remotely strategic reason to attempt to set that up. I just want to believe.
Hey, we got Ruin Market.
Okay.
So will they pick up the Ruin Market though and deny it to their opponent?
That's a good question.
I honestly, non-ironically, I want this Ruin Market. Like,
I think I'd buy it here. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Or gaining a
yeah,
Falconer, even.
yeah, that's the other thing I was looking at. But if you don't, then you can activate your Falconer off buying it.
Gaining a loan. Why a loan? I guess you want to trash the coppers? I think you might. Maybe you get an Exo here anyway, because I feel like Exo is actually better than loan is at trashing coppers.
I agree. I wouldn't take loan over Exo.
Yeah, actually, seeing these buys, I feel really confident that Exo is better because, unlike loan, which you can't play, you could have actually kept a copper around and trashed that this turn with the Exorcist. I think that I think that's just like a clear improvement. Like if you're buying province or something when you don't have any extra money, then maybe loan, but. Not to mention Exo, like, there's not a whole lot of things you want to trash, but, like, you could kill some, like, unnecessary dungeon or something for an Imp if you want to in the right situation. Imp's a real good card. Will-O-Wisp is as well.
Both terrific. Although, there's still a lot of dens here that have not been taken. If we're looking for draw, that's where I'd go.
Yeah, I do like Denizen. Again, with Shepherd, I'd want at least, like, one den per turn.
Yep.
Not a fan of the undo. No, what's wrong with the undo? It seemed totally fine to me. They like forgot to top deck the captain.
Yeah. I don't see a problem. Get him. Wait, was there? Oh, there's another Ruin Market now.
That's hilarious.
Alright, so each player can get one.
Yeah, I don't think. Two Ruin Markets I feel like is often too much. Like Ruin Market is like not a card that it's easy to like make the space in your deck to play a bunch of. And so often like you just build an engine that has two buys, and two buys is enough to double province, and you're not building bigger than that. There's a question of I guess like taking the Ruin Market just to like deny it to your opponent. But I'm not sure even if that's necessary. Like ngober's deck at the moment is not very engine-y. You know, they bought that gold instead of the captain and have moved in a very moneyish direction. And so I'm not even sure that a Ruin Market in ngober's deck really helps them at this point. So I don't think as Quickrick I'd be very compelled to take this Ruin Market. I'd be happy to leave it there and play it as the captain. And, I mean, maybe your opponent takes it, maybe they don't, but I don't think that'd be a super huge deal. I really want to top deck an estate here. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
They agree. So you play the den first, obviously. Good.
Indeed. Draw more cards so your captain can discard more victory cards for the Shepherd.
Uh-huh. So that Ruin Market is still sitting there.
Indeed.
Tantalizingly.
But just like looking at ngober's deck, maybe they have time to take the Ruin Market and try to build.
I don't know. It's probably pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's probably the best play, isn't it? I think I would buy the Ruin Market. I don't see a world where ngober wins this game with just one buy. I guess your other option could be you just buy another captain here, play it as ruin the market for the next turn or two. Hope your opponent doesn't take ruin market, because I don't think they would. And then maybe you snatch it up like a turn or two later with your plus buy. I like that line better, actually. Yeah, just captain here with the intent to get ruin market down the road.
Well, they bought a province.
Okay. I don't think their deck was strong enough at this point to sustain provincing from here on out. Honestly, even if it is, I'm not even sure if that wins, because your opponent's got plus buy and you don't. So like, they can do province plus some.
Yep.
Or I mean, like, I'm not even sure why Quickrick would province. You could just build and do like Duchy Duke, take the estates. There's plenty of other points to go around.
Most definitely. So they're taking a bit of a think here. Plays captain as Marauder, presumably. I was looking at playing Duke here. It's definitely very playable, but I'm not sure because a lot of piles could start to empty. I don't know if you get all the way through Dukes and Duchies.
The way I would think of it is like if you both build, I think greening with province is going to be a lot easier than greening with Duchy and Duke, because your buys are limited, but your money is not going to be super limited, and province is less buy intensive. So I think if both players build equally, then province will be the way to go. That being said, the existence of Duke does seem kind of relevant, because like if you green too early, like ngober has, Duke is just an extra stack of points. Where like even if it's not your optimal stack of points, it's the points you could take if your opponent is greened early and you want to come back from behind. The loan was a mistake. The loan was definitely a mistake. I feel like the loan revealing path through twice is just karma for a Quickrick not respecting Exorcist enough.
Put some respect on her name.
Exo's so great. Wonderful card.
I always thought she was the witch's sister.
The witch's sister.
Because like witch has a pretty similar pose, and she's also like channeling energy in between her hands.
No, I feel like that's doing her dirty. Like witch is like embroiled in the dark arts, practicing nasty sorceress type things. Exorcist is curing people of their demons and such. I feel like this is like the anti-witch. Also in the game as well, witch gives you curses, exorcist.
Look, I didn't say that maybe one of them practices light magic and one of them practices the dark arts, but they could still be sisters.
That's a fair point. You've got a good point. Yeah, maybe they're siblings who have a falling out. Like, are the witches in Wizard of Oz siblings?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Bad witch. I was about to use that as an analogy. I'm not actually sure whether they're related.
Unfortunately, I'm not really up on my Wizard of Oz like world building.
I remember reading the book way back when, and it's got like a bunch of trippy stuff that's not in the movie. Like there's this whole like land where people's arms and legs just like fall off, and they're like okay with that.
Oh jeez.
You just like you put them back on.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, same. Anyways, about this game, what's going on?
So do you Falconer here to grab the other ruined market?
Oh,
it's gone. It got marauded.
It's been gone for a while. I vaguely remember someone in the chat mentioning that while we were talking about irrelevant things. That definitely happened. Quickrick played it as Marauder, I believe.
Yeah. So they actually did give their opponent the ruined market. So they both have a buy now.
I don't think I like going out of the way to give my opponent the ruined market.
Same.
Like I don't think it's worse than nothing, and it's not like a spoils for you is really all that much better than nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just like, I'll get it out of the way so I can like play future Marauder attacks. That could be some rationale.
Seems a little sketchy.
Oh yeah, we've seen an Exorcist. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Better late than never. Yeah, Marauder here seems reasonable, I guess. I mean, you could have tried to play it as Shepherd and draw to your Ruin Market for plus buy. I think that's down there.
Wow. This hand. Well, thank God for Captain. Let me say that.
Yeah, it's actually a really good hand when you have a Captain in play. Get 4 green
Yeah.
cards to discard. Yeah, this game is definitely in the bag for Quickrick. They've got pretty substantial deck control already. There's 5 whole provinces left, and
They have a
they're already
3-1
points.
captains.
I think ngober is kind of underbuilt here. Did not seem nearly so moneyish as their deck strategy would suggest.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, don't buy gold over captain. Like, that's almost never right.
The allure of palaces led them astray. You can finally kill that loan with the Exorcist, which will be just desserts.
Hey, get an imp. Sounds good.
I mean, I guess you could just kill the mine as well, which looks to be what they're doing. It'll be funny if never mind. I thought they were gonna play the loan, and I think it'd be funny if it discards all their green cards, so they no longer have them top decked.
Yep.
So they left the loan behind, and then nonetheless did not trash it with Exo. I think I'd rather have an imp than not have an imp.
Yeah, definitely.
And alone is not appreciably better for your deck than an abandoned mine is. So now as Quickrick, you just take province here, and then not a whole lot your opponent can do to come back. That's gonna be a big shepherd. That's gonna be a real big
Wow,
shepherd.
that's
14
we're gonna draw a
cards
whole
of
lot of
draw
cards.
here. Ooh. It's like bigger than a madman. This hand for ngober is sad, but not unpredictably so, given the state of their deck.
You really,
They did not build.
you know, if you just had a captain, then you could discard 1 card, I guess. You know, some captains, some dens, and you're cooking on this board. But yeah, this looks pretty one-sided right now.
Could Quickrick double here? They might be able to. 6, 8,
I think it's what he's looking for.
11. So I think the answer is yes. You play 1 captain as... Oh, it's not worth it. So like you could play like a captain as Marauder. It gets you a spoils. Then you gain a silver off your Falconer. And that all gets you to 16. But I think I'd be happy just leaving 10 green cards on top of my deck rather than drawing through them to get to the spoils.
Yeah, and just Falconer for an estate.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
Oh. They might be going for the double. Looks like they are.
I I mean, you could be playing this. They don't need two dungeons in play. I would see playing the dungeon if you didn't have any dungeons in play, maybe. But like, you don't need the
But
dungeon. You've got a captain in play, and you've got green cards on top. The dungeon, if anything, is not helping because it's discarding green cards that you want to keep on top of your deck.
you could call captain before dungeon.
That's true. That's true. But like, the dungeon is not necessary, basically.
Agreed.
Because you're not gonna dud from a 14 card hand or however much they're gonna have next turn.
Why? What?
So they played their
What?
loan. Do they need the money? Wait, why?
What?
I would like to register my objection.
Okay,
They really
that
wanted those
happened.
palace points.
Yeah.
I don't think that was particularly worth it. Just take the province. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, every line leads to the same result. It's not like that was like game losing or anything. They could buy two curses and still be in the lead here. But I don't know. It just feels unnecessarily prolonging the game. Like, you buy a province, now your opponent can't touch province, and then you got like 8 green cards on top of your deck. You have like a 0 chance of dudding. Well, could they afford the 2 golds without the loan? My
No, I
impression
think
was
they had exactly enough money.
yeah, my impression was they played the loan because they had decided they wanted 2 golds. Yeah, I would have taken province and something. Estate is totally reasonable. I also just really want to see the loan die to the Exorcist, both strategically and thematically, because that loan really usurped Exorcist place in the deck, and I think Exorcist deserves his vengeance.
Can he double here?
Looks like it, yeah. Now, will that be double province or double gold? We'll find out.
Is he gonna falconer for an estate?
Marauder, I'm guessing. Don't play the loan. Kill the loan. I think it's gonna
Come on,
happen.
click it again.
Do it. Exorcist. Yeah, here we go.
Screw you, Lone.
Yeah, I don't think top decking the Shepherd is necessary, but I mean, it also doesn't really hurt.
You have
I
captain, so
they've like more than sufficiently seeded their starting hand between Captain Dungeon and Den of Sin and top deck Shepherd, and top decked Imp. That the chances of them dudding are like this is like literally 0. I don't think there's any conceivable way that this could dud. Why does the Imp want to steal the coffee cup? My guess is imps are mischievous in nature, and so they would just take random objects that aren't particularly significant but inconvenience you in minor ways, like not having a coffee mug when you need one. I feel like that is characteristic of an imp.
yeah, they're the mischievous fellows.
I might be unduly stereotyping imps here. Maybe that's his coffee cup, and he's reaching for the mug because he's about to fill it up.
He He works hard, right? He needs that cup of joe to keep him going.
Yeah, maybe he's got an honest trade as like a plumber or something. Is clearing it. Oh, like I was on the table and they're taking
So waiter.
Yeah, maybe that's their job as a waiter at some fine dining establishment.
All right, so we're going into the last game. Game 4. Quickrick is up 3-0. Let's see if ngober can get on the map.
Well, we're not going to see this yet. We're now again at that stage where they have the long pause where they hash out the kingdom.
Right. Forgot about that.
And apparently, yes, that wasn't even doing the kingdom. That was ngober taking a break. So now we're entering the wait for kingdom stage. We were previously in the wait for ngober stage. What do their names mean? So my hypothesis is Quickrick is one of the Ricks of the Rick and Morty universe. You know, there's like a number of them in their own timelines. Yep. The various themes of Rick, and Quickrick is probably one of those. So he's the Rick known for his speed. And ngober.
And what about ngober?
Ngober.
Could be like a first name starting with N and then Gober's his last name.
That seems like a plausible hypothesis. Or maybe it's like surname, given name, and their last name is Ng. And their first name is Ober. Ober doesn't sound super Vietnamese to me, but maybe. Is Ober a German given name? I know people with a surname Ober. Oh, maybe it's like a hyphenated surname. Like they just don't have a first initial there at all. Their surname is Ober. Maybe it's like that, you know, that printer meme, and they're really a fan of the letter N. Like, nah, you can't just have one lowercase letter. And then the other half of the meme is go burr.
Right. Hopefully they are banning some stuff. Do you want to look in the channel and see if you can see what they're banning?
I can peek. Okay, I see the kingdom. Quickrick has banned Counting House and oh no, they banned goons in a kingdom where I think goons would be pretty interesting actually. ngober has banned Black Cat, Talisman, and Alms.
I'm usually a very big fan of Alms. I think it's a very fun event.
I don't have a strong opinion on Alms, I don't think. Like, it's usually pretty useful, but also not very kingdom defined most of the time. It does have its occasional fun, like with Villa or something like that. Or Hermit. Yeah. I was really hoping we'd see goons, because the goons watchtower stuff seems really nice. I'm also surprised Quickrick banned that. I would think that, like we've seen that of the two of them, Quickrick likes building much bigger decks. And Goons Watchtower would be a very nice way to build very big here.
Oh, I love Goons Watchtower. That's so fun. And you're right, that is really interesting because there's no cantrips. So how do you generate actions here? Do you have to use mastermind chains?
Coin of the Realm.
Coin. Okay, yeah, you're right. Also, skipped over that.
Also, Will-O-Wisp is a cantrip.
Oh yeah, okay, you can get boons. 112.
Also, a masterminded Sacred Grove could independently be a village if you happen to be towards the bottom of the boon shuffle and you manage to get Field's Gift and then reshuffle the deck of boons and then get Field's Gift again with the same Sacred Grove.
Wait, that can happen?
Yeah. Wait, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Let me look. Yeah, dang it. DZ naturally already knew the answer. So there's a few boons where it says like keep it till cleanup. And I guess Field's Gift is one of those. Yeah, keep this until cleanup. That's I'm sure that's for tracking purposes because you'd want to have it during your buy phase so you know how much money you have in like in a world where you actually had these cards and weren't playing online. Yeah, field, rivers, and forests, I guess, are the three. Dang it. Okay, so Sacred Grove maybe can't be a village. My dreams are shattered. If you're thinking that you could like use your mastermind to play a card that you previously turtled on the previous turn, you would not be able to do that. You could like turtle a smithy on the previous turn and then play it first to give your mastermind a wider range of church space.
Mm-hmm. You also, if you ever draw a mastermind, oh no, it doesn't work. You can't. I always think like, oh, if mastermind would whiff, then you can just turtle it, but you can't.
But here's an interaction I think works is if you turtle the action card that you masterminded, it does not stay in play. So you could like mastermind a mastermind, play it twice normally, and then turtle it the third time. And then as a result of that, your first mastermind will not be stuck out of play for the following turn.
Ooh, that is useful.
Then yeah, if that's what you meant, then that does work.
That's what I was trying to think of. I just wasn't sure how you do it exactly.
Turtle wolf. Oh, werewolf turtle. Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. So I like that. That's a good point. So werewolf is normally terminal draw. But you could play it during the night phase, non-terminally, because nights don't require actions. But during the night phase, you could play it as a turtle. Then when you call it at the start of your next turn, it gets played normally like a draw card.
It's like a super den of sin.
Yeah. It's like a super den of sin or like a non-terminal barge or probably come up with a lot of analogies. But yeah, in any case, it seems pretty good. My goal here is to have enough masterminds that I can mastermind the leprechaun and get 3 wishes off of it. And
that's the dream.
Orchard points. you get 4 orchard points off the wishes. You just keep them for the rest of the game.
Yeah, just turtle them forever.
That'd be pretty funny. Was that a recent game?
Yeah, it was posted in the Dominion recently. It was someone getting like 6 wishes at once or something.
I've definitely had it come up in games before where you get triple wishes. I think it's definitely a thing to do with like Captain Leprechaun or Mastermind Leprechaun in a decent kingdom. Yeah, trashing the golds with Watchtower is like definitely a reasonable thing to do in this kingdom because it's like it's a little rickety and you don't need the golds that much because like you probably want to be getting payload off the Sacred Grove because that comes with plus buy and works better with Mastermind and such things. So I could definitely see having an excess of golds and needing to trash them. Yeah, the problem here is getting thin. I mean, you could conceivably play Sacred Grove enough times that with Flame's Gift you get thin, but barring that, there's a lot of draw to be doing. So, I want a whole lot of draw cards. I want a lot of draw cards.
Well, there's some good draw on this board.
Yeah. Just so many werewolves and smithies and such. Seems like the thing to do.
And now that I think about it, I love the idea of this turtle wolf. Seems really good.
Yeah.
Super Den of Sin that you could decide you want to delay it further. Count me in.
Turtle wolf sounds like something you'd find in the Avatar: The Last Airbender mythology.
Yeah, it's...
I communed with the
lion
wolves
turtles
as part of my earthbending training.
We need a Way of the Lion.
You have to refresh my memory, John. It's been a very long time since I watched that series. There were a lot of good jokes in that show, though. I don't even remember that theme, but that does sound like it'd be pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. They're like, oh, you mean a platypus bear? Oh, you mean a squirrel bear? And it's like, nope, just a bear.
I don't think I've said a single helpful thing about any play of these players that made this entire game. I think that's just kind of a consequence of it being Game 4.
Game 4, we're talking about Avatar. Like, shit happens. But Quickrick does it poised to pop Leprechaun here.
But it doesn't pop.
Yeah, it's like Lamp. It's like Lamp, Also, they don't have enough actions.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna trust that Jontz knows what's going on in this kingdom. Yeah, Quickrick looks about 3 turns ahead to me. I'd say he's basically won for anyone who's wondering my opinions in this match. More werewolves, can't go wrong there.
Gotta love werewolves.
Actually, does Quickrick have a Sacred Grove? Might need to think about plus buy pretty soon. I guess maybe they're just looking to activate the Leprechaun. Oh, it was just bottom deck. That's sad. That explains a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, you don't need 2 Sacred Groves imminently. If they have the 1, then that's probably fine. I just want to see some Flames gifts and Swamps gifts given out, because those will both make these decks run better. I mean, it doesn't really help you relative to your opponent to get those, because it benefits both of you. I just want to see it happen so these decks in general start to look nicer.
Would be nice.
Uh-oh. Why does ngober have a gold? Don't... Okay, they got it off of Sacred Grove. They get a pass. That's acceptable. I was worried. We were having a repeat of last game.
I will allow it.
Yeah, I wish I'd paid attention at all at the start to explain how Quickrick has gotten ahead. Let me go back and look.
Yeah, let's talk about the game.
So, oh wow, Quickrick's had a Sacred Grove forever. They open with it. I guess I should have known the answer to that question. ngober opened Silver Quarry. I guess 5-2 just kind of better. You get the jump start on the 5s, but what do you open on 4-3? Silver Quarry is not unreasonable. I think I would think about like just Silver Smithy hits 5, potentially triggers a shuffle. Silver Quarry is totally fine. Could be City Gate and hope to hit 5 on turn 2. Yeah, I think there's a lot of like okay options left for 3-4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if 2-5 or 3-4 is better here, honestly.
I think I prefer the 2-5. the 5s and the 2 are cards you really want to have in your deck a bit more, I think. Like, you kind of got to take a silver to get there, most likely. But and I don't think you really want to have that silver in your deck.
Makes sense.
Quickrick is taking a lot of werewolves. That seems like a good thing. Can't have too many of those here.
Yeah, we almost piled werewolves. You don't see that every day.
Wow, that is a remarkably bad starting hand.
Right?
They're looking at 8 cards and have 0 mastermind targets.
That is
Is
impressively
their deck
bad.
that devoid of actions? Or, I mean, now I'm looking at the next 5 cards and they only had 1 card in there. Do they just not have action cards, or are these bottom 5 cards just replete with actions? We'll find out in a turn.
See, how many coins does he have down? He has 2 down, so can he activate lab? Yes, just barely.
Are you asking whether ngober could have turtled the mastermind on turn 11? The answer is that's not a play. You would have had to turtle the mastermind when you played it on turn 10. Because you're not actually playing the mastermind at the start of your turn. Your mastermind has played the previous turn, and its effect is taking place at the start of your turn. So the choice
to mastermind. Yep, sorry.
I was just saying, so the choice to turtle it happens when in the initial play of the previous turn.
Now, how does something like what happens if you mastermind a Smithy and call turtle on it all 3 times? Does the masterminded Smithy just show up again?
You
Do you
only
like get the option
once? No, the if you did clause in way of the turtle means you
okay.
would not. Yeah, I mean you could play the Smithy twice and turtle it once.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what they undid there. It looked like they undid playing the Sacred Grove only to play it again, but maybe I'm missing something. The turtle art does look very Finding Nemo-ish to me.
Yeah.
But I guess
so then a lot of like
it might just be because both Finding Nemo and this turtle are based on actual turtles. Crab Cat has the answer. And Quickrick fiddling around with the Coin of the Realm stuff to make sure they have exactly 6 actions in play before playing Leprechaun. So definitely taking the last werewolf here. Don't know what else. More Sacred Grove seems eminently reasonable to me. I think you can definitely afford to add a bunch of masterminds as well. Maybe one more this turn. Well, you can't mastermind the wishes, if that's the idea. I mean, you could mastermind the wishes. It would just be very sad.
Yeah, you just get an action.
You're saying not play the wish 3 times. You mean gain 3 wishes off of Leprechaun. Okay, I'm following you now. Yeah, I would expect Quickrick to be able to triple their Leprechaun here. Yeah, next turn, Quickrick does seem pretty likely to pile out.
Sad turn from ngober.
Take the Leprechaun. Okay, so ngober does not have a whole lot of actions in their deck. Like, they've got 3 Masterminds, but as far as Mastermind targets go, they just have a few Werewolves.
Look at this draw. Look at this duration draw. Oh man, werewolf turtles are awesome. New favorite animal.
I mean, Wishes is also fine. You can draw to the Wishes, can't you? Or maybe you... No, yeah, they totally
Probably.
can. They have plenty of actions. Drawing to the Wishes is also totally a way to pile out here.
Yeah, you can find those wishes.
Look at this deck. I mean, that's a lot of werewolves. It's a whole lot of werewolves. Looks
You
like
can resign ngober. It's okay.
yeah, Quickrick does not even want to draw to those Wishes. They just want to end this game right now.
I mean, they could click end and then just, end it.
Finish him.
Finish up. All right. Well, congrats to Quickrick on a very solid 4-0.
Indeed. Yeah, I think Quickrick underbuilt the Donate Kingdom a bit and was in dicey water there for a hot second. But otherwise, I think we were seeing Quickrick build some solid engines, and ngober's decks didn't quite kick off.
Yeah. Definitely some good stuff to learn there about engine building.
Yeah, definitely. Good matches. I'll see you around.
Yeah. Interesting format. Thanks for listening, everyone.